Now we're moving on to Greece. And you'll note that the area that we're located in is the same area that we talked about with the Aegean civilizations. So you're looking at the same area that the Cycladics were living in, the Minoans, and also then the Mycenaeans. As I noted before, the Mycenaeans will have a dark age. They'll fall into a dark age, and then the Greek culture will emerge right out of that. So, a lot of the concepts, right, or ideas of the Aegean, we should hold on to them, but see how things change here in Greece because they will change quite a bit when you think about Greek culture and its foundations, its principles. Now, what are the foundations? What are the principles? Well, the first thing I always really note, right, is the reliance on humanism. This is a big game changer, right, as far as civilizations are concerned, and one that still affects us today. Because if you look around you, you are living in a humanistic culture. So, what does this mean? It means that the human is central, the human is most important, and the human can change, can grow. You might also hear the term individualism used. So the Greeks adopt the idea of humanism, the person, right, as someone who has ability to affect change, to create. This is one of the reasons I actually have the Parthenon on this slide because the Parthenon is a great example of what humanism really means. This was a temple created by the great architects Iktinos and Callicrates. And we'll talk more about this temple in depth when we get to our discussion of classical Greece. But here I wanted to show it as an example of the humanistic, the sense that these named people are known for their contribution to society. If you think about what the Egyptians and the Mesopotamians were doing before this, we don't see a lot of named artists. Imhotep and Thutmose were the ones I talked to you about because it wasn't important to be an individual in those cultures. It wasn't important to be a creator in that sense. It was important to understand what the pharaoh wanted or what the ruler wanted, to understand what your religion wanted. That really guided right everything that they did. More so again than saying the individual has something to contribute. So this is a big shift that we see culturally happen, and it really impacts, in my mind, the rest of Western civilization, how we feel about ourselves as humans, right, moving forward. And alongside that, you have the development of democracy. You have the development of the democratic system coming through in their government. Now, let's be clear this isn't democracy perhaps as we consider it, because you really only have high status men making decisions. But it's a start, right? It's a start from just having a ruler or a pharaoh who decides all things, who's commanded by the gods to do all things. So we are looking at the future of government where the people have more power to make decisions and have influence on what's happening, and guide their government in a sense in a more active type of way. And again, I think this is something you see in Western civilization that we believe in democratic institutions and we believe in democratic process. Doesn't always work great, but we try, right? We believe in it. We give it our best shot. So this is something that the Greeks invent in a sense. And again, it's very different from what the Mesopotamians and the Egyptians believed as far as